hope was that these Florida showers would have passed through by now, but it looks like we're in for a wet one tonight at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Off play action. Drew. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Patterson. And a nice run. They're going to take this close to the 1st down marker at the Bucs 34. And that looked like yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. These two teams, they met in Atlanta earlier in the year with the Falcons winning that game. So if they can win here in Tampa, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw his car. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. On 1st down, Patterson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Carr on the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw, it's Carr. This is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Allen Lazard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Taken from about the 12. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Now, these two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
This one swung out here to Jones. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
A check down here to Jones.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give to Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
6-0 our score after one. Now Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are just an extra point away from grabbing the lead now. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they are trying to create some separation within the division. And look, CD, I know that this is still the first half of the season, but this is a big matchup no matter where it falls because these are the top 2 teams. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down. Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Drew. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw on 3rd down, Drew. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's going to be taken down short of the 1st, right around the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Looking to throw. Drew. And fights through one man. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Not sure how you feel about it, but to me, I think we're seeing it in front of our eyes. This league continues to change. Look at the moves you ordinarily get from a running back from the quarterback position.
Yeah, that's like a Le'Veon Bell type move right there, but you're exactly right. The game's kind of evolving in that way, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the
And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. The extra point, not exactly a thing of beauty, but it does ricochet home. And the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken from about the 12. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. They run with Patterson. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Joe Tryon showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On 1st and 10, Drew. And he rifles one incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
On 3rd down, Drew.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
It'll go as just a 15-yard punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. Carr. Under pressure, and down he goes. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Now Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with an 8-point lead, probably not too much of an impetus to try and do too much here. Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw on second down. Drew. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A final shot before break. Drew, he's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. He's still barreling through. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with a Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, shot.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Now Carr. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now fourth down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Carr to throw for it on fourth down. Being chased out left.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Carr now on first down. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Throwing again on second down. Carr. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
The big Vita Vea pushing his way through to wind up with a sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing now is Carr. And the pressure gets to him again. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up fourth. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. A handoff, Fournette running left. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Second down, back to Fournette.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Drew. And break. The tight end's got it. Not much there, only a yard.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. Looking to throw. Drew. And that is incomplete.
And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
This is taken at about the 14.
So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
On play action, now Carr. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out, and the Falcons grab it. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable... Two-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do is put up signs that say, roads closed.
Buying time to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. And here comes throw number one for the backup QB. And that is taken in by Hurst. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back to throw now on first down. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Carlton Davis picks it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. The mistakes continuing to pile up, and it looked like they were going to be able to eat into that deficit. Instead, now the deficit is even larger.
Yeah, they were on a march with a chance to get back within a score, but now that deficit continues to grow.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken from about the 12.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. Now the try here for the point after. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Taken from about the 12. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted.
It's Devin White, the linebacker. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. On the return, here's a dangerous Cordero Patterson.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Devin White came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll set up a throw. Hit as he throws. He lost the football. It's loose.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Back to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. From the gun, Drew. And that is caught. It's Davis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And
they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run again with Wilson. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll try and pick it up on the ground with Wilson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And they take a knee. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Where were they clicking on offense?
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Buccaneers, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints.